Commissioners.
I just offered me. Yeah, you kind of. It just was so loud, and then I can let people in.
No, wait.
Just gonna have some fresh air before we start.
Yeah, well, she's got the air on now, so it should be circulating a little bit. We'll put something in the door so it's open.
Yeah.
Grab one of those sparks or something, and we hold the chair.
Oh, she's sitting. What does she want to trade places?
She told me that she'd let me know if she wanted to trade her in the meeting.
Yeah.
I'm excited to feel like a bouquet
Of flowers.
Makes you happy.
I could, when I start when my eyes start crying and I start sneezing, that means it's time to be done.
Yeah.
Because I'm allergic to all that.
I've been taking minutes from the outside.
Yeah. Or almost to the outside.
They are really pretty. There's overflow from it. That's what I've been told.
They don't sell them, so they give them there.
Things are beyond that.
I'd like to welcome everybody out to the meeting this evening, and we'll begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll do a roll call for attendance.
Commissioner Bowser. Here. Commissioner Bueller. Here. Commissioner Day.
Here.
Commissioner Hewitt.
Here.
Commissioner Robertson.
Here.
Commissioner Shaver.
Here.
Commissioner Warren.
Here.
Okay, so approval of minutes for June 1st, we're still waiting on.
Yes.
So those will be pushed on
Next month,
meeting.
or next time. No, next month, yeah.
Next month.
Yeah.
Or next time. Okay, no courtesies, no proclamations, so we'll move on to our board and commission report. And we'll begin with Commissioner Bowser.
Wednesday is the ordinance committee, and library, and Danny will give the report of library, next meeting. That's it.
Commissioner Shaver.
Nothing.
Commissioner Robertson.
Commissioner Hewitt, are you gonna take the airport board?
Well, actually, I left all my minutes at home,
Would you like me to cover that real quick?
if you want.
I'll just say,
If it
there was
makes
an
you
airport
happy.
board meeting on the 3rd.
Sounds good.
Of construction ongoing at the airport right now. If you were there, you would see that that was most of our discussion was on that. There's a major taxiway reconstruction project going on. There's a seal coating on part of the airport will be ongoing, kind of start, stop over the next 2 months, almost, month and a half. The large World War II hangar, community hangar is getting a new door. That parts are there and they're starting the process. And there's construction 2 of 4 new hangars are being built right now. And they're about to stand up steel on those. And that, nothing to add?
No,
I think those were the main topics.
yeah, that's fine, yeah.
There was a TIF-TED board meeting on the 9th. The primary topic was public parking lots, already on the agenda for this evening, I believe. Is that correct? After thorough discussion was approved for recommendation. We'll see that tonight. And then, there was Public Works recruitment meeting on the 12th, and I would say that mostly focused on renewed social media efforts to get the word out about open positions, not just that one. And that, we're starting to see it more out there, which is good. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, Commissioner Bueller.
I'm, the Central Montana Foundation Board will be meeting June 23rd, which is next, not tomorrow, but the Tuesday after. And the Audit Committee will be meeting Thursday, June 18th, which is this Thursday at noon.
Thank you. Commissioner Ward.
Mr. Robertson already got it. Thank you.
And then anything, Commissioner Hewitt? No. Awesome, alrighty. As far as the Park and Rec Department goes, can you all hear us okay? Yeah? No?
Not very well.
Kind of, yes, I see lots of, okay.
I was gonna say you can have it all the way.
Just feedback for the Park and Rec, just some follow-up. One of those board members was able to go out and do a site visit with the Park and Rec director at the Creekside to look at the potential relocation of Farmers Market. So there are some things, questions that came from that walkthrough that will be addressed at our next Park and Rec meeting. And then I also wanted just to invite everybody out. So this Wednesday evening, we will be having at 5 p.m. a community cleanup in East Fork. So everyone's invited, commissioners alike, Wednesday, that evening, to come on out. We're just gonna divvy all out, lots of hands, make the job light, and get that campsite all cleaned up for summer. And then also, the next meeting that we will have will be the first Wednesday of July, which is the 1st of July, 7 p.m. at the Civic Center. And that's pretty much it for Park and Rec. So we will now move on to our city manager report.
Yes. I wanted to provide an update regarding the disbursement of tax payments from Fergus County. I did deliver a letter to the county commissioners regarding this and had requested that if any interest was earned on the funds, that they provide that at that time. We spoke and they are working with additional staff. They brought in some contracted labor to help them get caught up and ensure that they continue to process things effectively. The county commissioners felt like the funds could be distributed in a very timely manner within the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for more information on that. And then just a reminder, the June 29th special budget meeting will be here at 6 p.m. As Commissioner Day alluded to, our East Fork cleanup is this Wednesday beginning at 5:30. And then the following week, Montana Shakespeare in the Park will be performing Much to Do About Nothing at Creekside, beginning at 6:30 p.m. That's always a great show and free to the public. The pool has been open, though the weather hasn't cooperated really well. We also started our first session of swim lessons today and will be hosting a swim meet on July 12th. You can still sign up for lessons or purchase passes and punch cards at the pool during regular hours. You can see the summary of building permits. We are seeing more typical spring and going into the summer activities there. Briefly to update our wastewater status on our biosolids project. Those plans are ready to be submitted. We also are in the process of filling out the application for the state revolving loan program, and then have been continuing to communicate with DEQ as to the timelines of this project, making sure that we're following their compliance guidelines that we have agreed to. The zoning code updates, just to note, we will be working on those bylaws this month with the going to be planning commission of the city county planning board. And those bylaws, we're anticipating coming back to the commission in July for approval of those. We have just a few positions. Like I said, we've picked up a lot of different employees over the last month. The public works director and police officer, the recreation specialist and firefighter, and the library director are the ones that we currently have out there. We are setting up interviews for the police officer, firefighter, and public works director later this month. So if you know individuals that are interested in that, encourage them to get them in right away. And then we had offered a position to a police officer and have completed that hire. Also picked up a street worker and some seasonal recreation staff. That's all I have.
Thank you. And then just a reminder to the commission, we do have our ordinance committee meeting this week, also along with the audit committee this week. Okay, we are now moving on to public comment. So this is public comment regarding non-agenda items. So the public is feel free to comment on anything that's non-agenda related for tonight. So if you could please come to the microphone, state your name and address. If you have any written statements, they need to be turned into our clerk as well. We're done. So any public comment?
Can you hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Everybody hear me good? So I've actually got a couple issues that I'd like to address this city commission with tonight. My first one that I'd like to address all you about is about what you discussed a couple of weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago was actually the weed problem that you guys were addressing up at East Fork Dam, and you guys were actually debating on giving a lease to one of the other people, and the debate came down to who had the better weed abatement program. I just would like to remind this board right here, before you guys actually start throwing stones at other people, you might want to look in your own backyard. This city is actually very relaxed on noxious weeds. And I just would actually like to call the city out on this. Montana Code Annotated 2025, Title 7, Part 21, County Weed Control, Section 7-22-2116 says, unlawful to permit noxious weeds to propagate. Notice required in sale. Number 1, it is unlawful for any person to permit any noxious weed to propagate or to go to seed on the person's land, except that any person who adheres to the noxious weed management program of the Weeds Management District, or who has entered into and is in compliance with the noxious weed management agreement, is considered to be in compliance with this section. I've actually got some pictures here that I'd like to give to this board, to this commission. You guys can pass these out. So you'll see in those pictures, I actually just, and I only spent $10 on that, but there's quite a few pictures that I could have taken. The hypocrisy you think here is actually not very good. Starting right here at the Garfield Bridge, right here by your park that you guys want to have all this, right there by the brewery, whatever. Right there at Garfield, I mean, the knapweed, the hound's tongue, the leafy spurge, it's unreal. It's just all over. Like I said, I've got several pictures of there, and I think it's also very hypocritical that supposed Fish and Game is actually the one saying you can't have, anybody can't be walking on this supposed city land without a permit to actually have, I don't know, their conservation fee or whatever it is. Well, look at that. I took that picture of that sign right there. That sign's got leafy spurge there, the burdock, the leafy spurge. It's unreal. And that's actually a farmer's field right there behind that. So if you guys let your seed go and it propagates into his field, you could be held liable. I don't think you guys realize the seriousness of this. I mean, you're actually trying to tell other people how to manage their weeds out at East Fork, but the city falls awful short. I mean, like I said, just take a walk down your walking trail and it's just loaded. Knapweed, leafy spurge, hound dog, burdock, I mean, white top, it's all there. So that's my first issue that I'd like to address with you guys tonight, and there is Montana law that actually says that. And kind of going along that lines is it seems like the city is actually more concerned with licensing cats. Tim, you had brought that up at one of these meetings, and I don't know if some of these people, if you're hearing complaints from people that saying, well, we need to license cats. It seems to me that the city is actually wanting to take away people's rights and freedoms when, geez, you guys might want to look, you know, in your own backyard before you go trying to enforce other things. When there's Montana state law that says you guys are not addressing your weed problem. And I think this seriously needs to be addressed. I just want to leave you something on that thought. You know, I mean, if we license cats, are we going to license a little girl's bunny rabbit? You know, I mean, you name the list, it goes on and on. Where are we going to stop? It's more and more control and regulation. I thought this was America. I thought we were free. I just want you to listen to this. A license often becomes an arbitrary control by government that makes a crime out of what ordinarily would not be a crime. It turns a right into a privilege. So I would ask you guys, as we're celebrating our 250th anniversary of this republic, that you guys would actually just consider that when you guys are making your ordinances. You know, take a look at these weed laws. I mean, this is law. I mean, this is people's livelihood. That this actually goes into farmer's field and he can't sell weed-free hay, certified weed-free hay, if that's what he's raising, who's liable for that? So that's my first concern, is that just, you know, I think you guys need to take a look right here on the city land that you guys supposedly own, and I think you need to address your problem here before you actually go out trying to tell other people what they need to do or how they need to manage their weeds in order to satisfy a lease agreement with the city.
I'm sorry, what?
Did you get a name and address?
No, I did not.
Do you need that?
So sorry, I didn't say that. My name for the record is Jason Carlson. I live at 411 West Boulevard Street.
Thank you.
So this is my second issue. If I've got time, I'd like to address this issue too here. To the Lewistown City Commission, for the record, my name is Jason Carlson. I reside at 411 West Boulevard Street. I am here to put the City Commission on a formal notice of a redress for grievance against my fundamental, God-given, constitutionally protected rights of freedom of speech, as stated in the 1st and 14th Amendments to the U.S. Constitution, and the Montana Constitution, Article 2, Declaration of Rights, Section 7. The First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution states, Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech. The 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution states, no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. Section 7 of the Montana Constitution, under Article 2, Declaration of Rights, states, no law shall be passed impairing the freedom of speech or expression, period. Every person shall be free to speak or publish whatever he will on any subject, being responsible for all abuse of that liberty. I am bringing this notice to this commission in regards to the paragraph on the citizens' participation page of the City Commission of the Whole handout, which we all have right here, which states, impertinent or slanderous remarks towards city officials, staff, or other members of the public, or other boisterous, disorderly, or disruptive behavior during a commission meeting are not permitted. Swearing, derogatory language, threats, personal attacks, heckling, or similar behavior may be considered impertinent and or disruptive. Any person exhibiting such behavior during the commission meeting may be admonished to cease that behavior or risk being asked to vacate the commission chambers. If such behavior continues after the admonishment, the presiding officer may request that person to vacate the commission chambers unless permission to remain is granted by a vote of the commission. Any thinking person can clearly see that this City Commission's rules for citizen participation is blatantly in violation of our fundamental, God-given, constitutionally protected rights as a supposed free American. Article 6 of the United States Constitution states, this Constitution shall be the supreme law of the land. Article 2, Section 1 of the Montana Constitution states, popular sovereignty. I say that again, all political power is vested in and derived from the people. All government of right originates with the people, is founded upon their will only, and is instituted solely for the good of the whole. Article 2, Section 3 states, inalienable rights. All persons are born free and have certain inalienable rights. They include the right to enjoying and defending their lives, liberties, and their property. To even further validate my claim that this city commission's rule is immoral and unconstitutional, the Supreme Court, the federal Supreme Court, has said in Miranda versus Arizona, where rights secured by the Constitution are violated, where rights secured by the Constitution are involved, there can be no rulemaking or legislation which would abrogate them. Also, in Marbury versus Madison, the Supreme Court said, all laws which are repugnant to the Constitution are null and void. I could go on and on about Supreme Court cases that protect and uphold the rights of the people against government abuse of power, but for time's sake, I won't. To cite one last section from the Montana Constitution, Article 2, Section 18 states, state subject to suit, the state, counties, cities, towns, and all other local government entities shall have no immunity from suit for injury to a person or property. I'm asking the city commission to review their citizen participation paragraph and rewrite it with the rights of their boss, we the people, at the forefront of their rewriting thought process. I am asking you, City Council, to have the courage to stand up for liberty and freedom and defend freedom. City codes, rules, ordinances, statutes, and supposed laws do not trump the guarantees of a citizen's fundamental, God-given, constitutionally protected rights, especially in a supposed free American society. A simple, non-threatening statement such as, we kindly ask that you be respectful in your public comments, treating other people as you would like them to treat you, would be great.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm not done. Also, I would be amiss if I did not also try to gently remind you, as our public servants, of 18 U.S. Code Section 242, which states, deprivation of rights under color of law. Whoever, under color of any law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom, willfully subjects any person in any state to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both. I hope this commission can see my heart in this matter. It is not about hate or vindictiveness that I bring this matter to your attention. I am simply trying to protect my rights in a peaceable manner. My dad did not get drafted into the U.S. Army to go fight communism in Vietnam, only to come back to the land of the free and the home of the brave, to let communist ideals replace our American Constitution in his hometown and have no one fight against it. Thank you very much, and I submit this to the record.
Thank you very much. Okay, any other public comment regarding non-agenda items?
Richard Badger. I remember his comment about the weed ordinance. If I remember correctly, within the city code a few years back, in some rule that said it's up to the county. Am I correct?
That's correct. We participate in the weed district at Fergus County.
That's what I thought. Okay, thank you. That's what I thought. Thank you.
Okay, any other public comment?
Yeah, hi. My name is Keith Casera. I just want to address, the other day, we got some little stickers put on our vehicles for parking on sidewalks. I live at 615 Idaho Street, which is, as far as I know, the skinniest street in town. It is right at 23 feet 5 inches. In the 23 years that I've lived on that street, I've been through 3 administrations as far as talking to code officials, going up the chain, talking to city managers, talking to those people that we just have to park on the sidewalks on Idaho Street. There's no way not to get around it. I have been ticketed once. I have taken that ticket in to the police chief. The police chief has resolved the ticket for me. He understands it. All of us that live on those streets understand it. I've had 2 vehicles totaled by drivers going up Idaho Street, since I've lived there. I don't really know, I mean, I understand why we shouldn't park on the sidewalk. I mean, people have to walk. But people have to drive too, up these streets. And you get 2 vehicles that park on both sides of that street, not on the sidewalk, you cannot pass. You cannot get an emergency vehicle, you cannot get a fire truck, an ambulance, a garbage truck. If, for chance, a street sweeper ever comes by, or a snowplow on Idaho Street, which in the 23 years, I've seen 2 street sweepers and 1 snowplow in the 23 years. They can't get by. Tuesday morning, we're not parked on the sidewalk, we're parked in the street. What's the garbage man gonna do? We're already having a problem with the garbage man picking up the garbage. Now, he's not gonna even come down the street now. I mean, we can't clean the bushes out of the alleys so they can do it, in the alleys. So, how's he gonna get down the streets? I just was talking with another neighbor. I parked my outfit, he parked his outfit there. There was 8 feet between us. He took his other brand new vehicle, tried to come down mirror to mirror. He's 10 foot, it didn't even work. So, back to, we're talking about who's liable. I park in the street, somebody totals my pickup, you forced me to park there. Who's gonna pay? They don't have insurance. Who's gonna pay? Who's liable? I mean, I'm just trying to, I'm not saying that it's right or wrong, I'm just saying we need to know. We can't park on the sidewalk. I mean, we've been doing good for years. We haven't had any problems. Now all of a sudden we do. Is there a compromise here? I don't know. I just drove around town. From what I've been told is Idaho Street and Erie Street and Virginia Street were the only people that really got talked to. There's people parked on the sidewalk on Grassy. There's a deputy sheriff's outfit and a patrol officer's outfit parked on the sidewalk. I mean, they didn't get talked to. So, I mean, is this pick and choose type of thing, or certain people? I don't know. So I just want to, bring it to your attention, because I don't think that it's the right thing.
Thank you.
I know there's some others here that have the same questions.
And so just a reminder, this is public comment, making the commission aware of your comments.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is related to what Keith was talking about.
thank you.
My name is Roger Olson. I live in 706 West Idaho. And, we're not taking over parking on the entire part of the sidewalk. It's just getting up maybe one wheel onto it. People can still go by I still clean, the snow off it, all the time. And I know my, next door neighbor, across the street, he was saying that if I'm parked there, he doesn't have much, a lot of room, and he's really afraid that he's gonna be backing into my vehicles on there. For the most part, we park in the garage around back, but yeah, at the same time, I pay the taxes, so I should be able to park in, front of, my dwelling on there, so. I just, what was the reason, I've been living at this place for over 10 years, and, there's never been a problem before. Is there any particular reason why, all of a sudden we just decide, well, you can't park there? I don't know, if that's something that can be answered.
So normally when code enforcement comes through and issues citations or warnings, it's because it's complaint driven.
From,
Your neighbors?
from neighbors that if they're on our block, they know we gotta park on the sidewalk because, there's just not a whole lot of room there. Not unless you wanna take a couple of feet off of everybody's property and widen out the street. That would probably work pretty good too. So, okay, thank you very much.
So much. Any other public comment?
There's been a lot of vehicles parked all over the town, especially up by the hospital. There's been one up there pickup for months. It's got 2 flat tires.
Can you identify yourself, please?
Bala. I'll remain fairly anonymous because I don't want neighbors to know. But there's you go up on C Street and there is tons of vehicles all over, parked on sidewalks and stuff, and all over. I mean, behind the brewery too. That's a mess. Nothing's been done about that. If code enforcement's going to do stuff, let's get them out and do stuff.
Okay, we're gonna move on to public comment in-house.
My name is Sam Houston. I'm located at 109 Turquoise Drive. I have 2 things, should be relatively quick. First one is I brought up probably a little bit after the start of the school year last year about stop signs at Lewis and Clark. And I just wanted to come in and check in on those. I also wanted to identify a different set of places that could do with stop signs. So at the intersection of Walnut Street, Southwest Ash Street, and Darby Avenue, it's right there, that junction right there next to the high school. There's a triangle there essentially, and I've been driving that a lot more recently, and it feels incredibly unsafe. And so I was hoping maybe I could bring it to y'all's attention. Be aware, I don't know how expensive stop signs are, but somewhere up in there would be cool. The other thing is, there was recently paving done along Agate, running there to the front of Lewis and Clark, and the intersections of Agate and Carroll Trail and Agate and Sapphire Drive are not even with the other piece of the road that still exists there. And so I very well see it when comes winter and there's a plow that is gonna just tear up that nice new paving. So probably do with some grinding or something like that. But, and I have references for the street signs, if that would be useful, but.
You can leave them over here. Cool. Great.
Otherwise, that's it, thanks.
Public comment.
Good evening, John Carlson, 314 4th Avenue North. A comment, a thanks to you guys I can actually hear you. This has been the first meeting that I can honestly say that I have heard everything. So I need to tell you, thank you. My ears do too. One quick question. What's the difference between the public comment period and your citizens request period? Because I don't know where to put this.
That's a great question. That's on my notes too. So,
Would you like
meaning
me?
that, looking at the review, you know, listening to public comment and hearing that we want to review this, and we'll be looking at that more closely with our city manager. So in the beginning initially, and Nikki can steer me if I'm incorrect, we wanted to give citizens a chance to participate in the meeting before and after, because there's a lot of issues after public comment where people just leave. And then during the end of the meeting, we're able to bring up some of those issues during our commissioners' minutes and hear from the public again if they have any input or requests regarding the discussion. But during public comment, we're just hearing public comments off of non-agenda items. Because during agenda items, you'll have a chance to comment as well. Is that, okay. Any other, is that?
Okay, I guess I've just got questions, so I'm gonna call it a public comment.
Okay, sure.
Back a few meetings ago, Tim made a comment about, if I heard it right, that there were over 1,000 rules and laws on the books concerning Lewistown.
I haven't heard that from any of you guys.
Said many, but not a number.
In other words, I thought I heard you said you had spent time looking back through the records and all the rules and regulations that it came up.
Do you have a comment regarding one of those rules?
Well, no, I was gonna say, if that is true, I would think there's a lot of garbage on the books that could be taken care of because, we're past the horse and buggy days. Whatever the rules are, and I was wondering if this is something the commission was gonna take a look at, or, but if I'm not hearing it correctly, I'm gonna retract because I thought I heard that, comment from Tim.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, yeah, just a reminder that the public is welcome to come to our ordinance meetings that we have, Public Works meeting, and also the audit committee meetings. So those are posted on the city manager report and also listed on the website. Correct. Thank you so much.
Sorry, Tim. Thank you.
Okay, any other public comment this evening? Okay, Commissioner Robertson would like to interject.
John, we'll catch up later. I'll clarify that comment for you.
Okay, if there's no other public comment, we'll be moving on to our consent agenda for the evening. So any questions for our city clerk or city manager regarding the consent agenda? Commissioner Hewitt, did you have that?
Yeah, I have seen, I know. Okay, 59081, chemicals for the pool. That's an outrageous amount.
That's about a year's worth.
Oh, all right.
Purchase at once.
Okay, then that isn't bad. All right, 59071, Cushing and Terrell. Is this the lawyer that?
No, those are the folks that are helping us do the zoning code modifications.
Okay, zoning code,
Holly, how often do we check in with them
We have weekly meetings, but they are working to get us a draft, ordinance here in the next month or two. And then it'll be routed through the ordinance committee, and you guys will make the final decisions after some public meetings.
Okay, 59084, and that's on page 4. Sorry, I haven't been saying page numbers. The drinking where?
The library got a new drinking fountain
Oh,
and
okay.
had
All right,
plumber installed.
all righty. And Pesha. Yeah,
On, page 11.
59126.
There's a couple different projects. So the Headworks project is a portion of that, as well as the biosolids project.
Yeah, the biosolids.
And so that's design with that.
Have we not? Okay. I just think that they're getting them more money than they deserve, actually.
Do we have a motion? Any other questions?
Move to approve claims for dates 6/1/26 to 6/11/26.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Robertson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, and a second from Commissioner Bueller. Okay, any other questions regarding the consent agenda? Okay, we'll show approval by raising the right hand. Okay, moving on to our regular agenda meeting for this evening. Item number 1 is discussion and action on appointing a police commission to serve a 3-year term on the City of Lewistown Police Commission. Okay, City Manager Holly Phelps.
So we did advertise, for the opening on the police commission. We did get 2 applications, for that position, and, you can look over their applications. Both of them do have experience with law enforcement and, various things there. I know one of them is online, was out of town and joined us online. Yep. Just one is in attendance.
Which one's in attendance?
Stephen Hamilton is online.
He was unable to attend tonight. He is online.
Does he have anything that would sway us one way or another?
We only need one of them?
We only need one,
Yes.
but there are staggered terms.
I'd like to thank the people who have submitted interest. I also really appreciate that we get to review an application to see what kind of interest and education and quality and qualifications that they have. It's very, very nice. I appreciate it. And next time, if we get a written letter, if they say over, we can get the stuff that's on the back.
It should be on the back. Oh, sorry, because I sent it out. It was emailed out properly, it was not copied. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you.
Missed it.
What exactly is the information that would?
Do you want me to read that? Because I haven't done
Yeah, it looks
Just
short.
to make sure it's on the printed card.
Commissioner Bowser, will you just read that for
it.
me?
Sure. This is Stephen Hamilton. Everywhere I live, I am trying to serve the community in a way that fits my skill sets. I have a brother that's served in law enforcement in Manhattan and other family that work in corrections. I recognize challenges faced by the law enforcement community and enjoy helping help others improve and grow. As someone who is recruited and hired, I believe I am good at looking for talented people to be part of the community. I also believe in growth and accountability for myself and those around me.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the commission?
I'd like to echo Commissioner Bueller's comment that I appreciate we have two candidates who look like well-qualified candidates. We'll see on, I know Mr. Cokie, who lives down the street from me. He's been at these meetings often. I'm sorry, I don't believe I know Mr. Hamilton, so I can't judge on that, but I can attest to Mr. Coke's quality as a participant with the city thus far.
One question I had, for Mr. Hamilton, is he online?
I am, yes.
Can you hear me? Because I have a question for you really quick.
Sure.
It says, there's one question there, and I just didn't know if I'm not reading it correctly, but how long you continuously lived in the city of Lewistown? Is that 45 years or 4 to 5 years?
4.5 years, 4.5, sorry.
Thank you.
My handwriting isn't always the best, so.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure that I read that correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I move that we accept John M. Cope as the new person to sit on the police commission board.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Hewitt and a second from Commissioner Shaver. Any other questions regarding the motion? Okay, we'll do a roll call vote.
Okay, the motion is to appoint Mr. John Coke to the police commission, for a 3-year term. Commissioner Bowser.
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller.
Aye.
Commissioner Day.
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson.
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver.
Aye.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Thank you.
Before we move on, I'd like to thank both people for applying, and we do have many boards, so feel free to apply for those. We'd love to see candidates that are interested and qualified.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item number 2 is discussion and action on approving resolution number 4224, a resolution approving an application from the city of Lewistown for TIF funds made to the Lewistown Tax Increment Advisory Committee. City Manager Holmes.
So as you guys were aware, the city did submit a TIF grant application to the TIF board recently regarding purchasing a property and turning it into a public parking lot. This property is located at 203 4th Avenue South. In your packet is some information regarding kind of the reasons why this project fits well within the TIF. And so these are goals out of the urban renewal plan that created the TIF district. You can see the importance of parking and access. So not only, I think the very first goal listed in that plan is the need to develop and implement a downtown parking strategy, not only for employees, but to have additional parking to support additional developments. Then we go into the housing goal, so to encourage residential development, primarily in downtown upper story spaces, so second story of our downtown. Also improving sidewalks, green space, infill development, supporting rehab of historic and significant buildings by giving kind of new life to underdeveloped or underutilized properties. And then the other part of that is the costs that can be paid for utilizing tax increment financing. And so you'll see that, the acquisition of the land, the demolishing of the building, making the public improvements. Those sort of things are all eligible costs for this project. And then last but certainly not least is a rough draft of the budget for that property. You can see the TIF board did make a recommendation to award up to $300,000. Again, those would be matching funds. And so I did identify several different grants, primarily the largest one being the public facilities with the CDBG program, which most of this work would be eligible. There are smaller grants that could be used for sidewalks and different things in the area as well. But the prices are kind of broke down into a rough estimate of what we feel like we can accomplish the work for. There would be a fair amount of work done in kind, utilizing city staff to do what we can. And then we do have a tentative estimate on the project for all of that. So from paving to striping and signage, the sidewalks, those sort of things, with construction pricing for next summer being at less than $250,000. That was with contingencies in there as well. So you can see that we're anticipating it being less than $600,000.
I know that we also have members of the board here, if anyone would like to weigh in. Yeah. Yeah,
Would this be an appropriate time?
no, this would be a great time, yeah, before a motion gets made.
I like your new sound system. My name's Dave Meyerly. I'm the chair of the TIF board, recently elected. And I would just make a few brief comments on this, and then I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. If you want, we can go into all kinds of things on this. I would say this is a larger than normal grant for the TIF board to recommend to you folks. Normally, we have done, traditionally over the years, we've done a lot of things to help individual property owners and businesses in the TIF district. This is a larger amount, but it's not unprecedented. We did a large grant to the center, I never can get the name right, but the marketplace down here by the brewery. Also, school district number 1 had a rather large request at one time that we honored. This request has been really good for our board. We've had a number of conversations in recent months about wanting to do something bigger, look for bigger projects to help both our community, but also the infrastructure in the districts. This project meets our criteria, meets your criteria, your master plan. It meets the state statutes for what TIF boards can do. We've had just great conversation, and we do have some other things that we were talking about that might have more impact in the community, but we feel we're at a place where if the right project came along that was bigger than, say, a $20,000 grant, that we would like to entertain that. And this project kind of fits that. The last thing I would say is that if you guys approve this, you're making sort of a commitment, because one of the conversations, and Holly's been really good about speaking to this, because we've been talking about this for probably 2 to 3 meetings, is it's a 50% match. So obviously we want to see this done. We want to see that property removed from the blighted condition and turned into something that will serve the community. And I think, our concern is that hopefully within 2 years that can happen. I would say also at our last meeting, we had downtown business owners, property owners who were there representing local businesses who are interested if there is a lease arrangement. They've already expressed interest for their tenants and their customers in some of these spots. So that's all I have to say, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, you have considered leasing spots then?
That's going to be up to you guys, actually. We had a little bit of conversation about how this might work. Would you lease spots overnight? How that might work. The city
you know, that's kind of over our pay grade. You folks are gonna have to decide exactly how that's gonna work. And if I had to guess, you'll come up with the best thing you can come up with, and you're gonna find out it doesn't work, and in about 3 months, you'll probably adjust it. Just everybody be patient, extend a little grace here. But whatever you come up with, I know there is some, if you do wanna lease spots, there appears to be some interest.
Lease or just rental. I know Galen's parking lot, they rent. And I'm assuming, I know originally they started renting, and I'm assuming they are still renting those spots, that parking lot, that big parking lot.
It's been a while since I've talked to Tom, but yeah, but again, that's up to you. You may wanna lease a spot for 24 hours, or you may wanna lease it overnight. There's gonna be some discussion around that once you folks have this project done.
Okay, so to confirm, this would be city property?
It will be city property. And it's been for sale for quite a while, and there's been no buyers, and it's a mess. In fact, I recall, well, I don't wanna go into that. It should have been upgraded a long time ago, and it wasn't done.
Just to confirm, if it needed remediation, that lot has had care taken care of it?
I believe we have people from Snowy Mountain in the audience as well, but yes, the fuel tanks have been removed.
Okay.
All it is, and it says other grants or funds, 250,000. That's a big question mark, isn't it?
Again, I think the CDBG, public facilities is a very large grant. I mean, their awards are typically 750,000. So, I mean, it's not a far ask for something like that, especially if you can demonstrate the public benefit, the skin in the game, that kind of matching funds, things like that. I think you would score very highly on a competitive grant.
Is this the CDBG, I hate those letters. Is that the only grant that you've identified, or are there multiples that could come into place?
There are multiples, some of them overlap. The CDBG could do the whole thing.
Okay.
Where there's some other ones that would just do sidewalks or just do little portions of it.
Yeah, just remember it was like detailing?
Yes.
Correct.
No wonder they got a business.
They've been wanting to sell for a couple of years.
But I'm good. How about that?
Any other questions for Mr. Biley or city manager? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve, resolution 4224, approving an application for the city of Lewistown for TIP grants.
I second.
We have a motion from Commissioner Bowser and a second from Commissioner Warren. Any other comments from the commission or the public regarding the motion? Yeah, absolutely.
I've worked on this project, Mr. Warren mentioned it, I've been working on it. At TIF, we've been working on it, I'm on the TIF board. We did have some very extensive discussions about it, some debate about it. It was healthy, well-reasoned in both regards. I think what pushed me over the top by far was the comments I got from both residents from downtown and employees who work downtown, that work right on Main Street every day and really struggle to find adequate parking. And they park in the neighborhoods. They go 2 or 3 blocks out to find parking. When it's winter season, it's that much harder. So this really fits the bill in my mind for off-street parking. It's not in the way of snow removal at night. It will allow more residents to live downtown. It will make it easier for people who work downtown. And I would assume it's going to help a couple of businesses that are affiliated or close to that area. So I think it serves a lot of different people, a lot of different ways. I wish it was more spots. I wish it was much larger, but that's not available at this point. And as we've all learned sitting on this commission trying to find parking solutions for downtown, it's not often that something becomes available downtown. So I think this is a good intermediate solution at this point.
Thank you. And Holly, can you review again? I know you told me before, this is 17 stalls,
It's
approximately
17 to 18.
having one
As-
handicap.
Yeah, I think we need an engineer to draw it out properly rather than AI. But it appears through multiple to figure this out, 16 to 18 spots, one of which is a large handicap spot.
Okay, we have a motion on the table. Do we have any other comments? Okay, let's do a roll call.
Okay, we are approving resolution number 4224. Commissioner Bowser.
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller.
Aye.
Commissioner Day.
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson.
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver.
Aye.
Commissioner Warren.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Okay, item number 3 is discussion and action on authorizing the city manager to sign a memorandum of understanding between the Montana Department of Transportation and the city of Lewistown for the state-funded city park rest area maintenance program fiscal year of 2027. City manager Holly Phelps.
Yes, so this grant is for the Kiwanis rest area. This becomes a pass-through grant for the Kiwanis Club that works very hard to upkeep that facility for the public. The cost of this year's grant would be not to exceed $8,030, and that is a reimbursement.
And this is my understanding, this is something that comes before us every year.
Correct, and it's due to our proximity to other rest areas. Yep.
Did Tyler look this over and give the old rubber stamp?
This is the same agreement that's been utilized for very.
Over and over.
This goes through the state of Montana.
I move we approve the city manager to sign the memorandum of understanding between the Montana Department of Transportation and the city of Lewistown for the state-funded city park rest area maintenance program fiscal year 27.
I'll second it. Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Bueller, a second from Commissioner Hewitt. Any other questions for the city manager regarding the motion from the commission or the public?
I would say, drive by it very often, it's very well maintained, and it's nice to see it that way.
Okay, let's do a roll call vote.
Okay, we are approving the fiscal year 27 state-funded rest area maintenance program grant. Commissioner Bowser.
Aye.
Commissioner Bueller.
Aye.
Commissioner Day.
Aye.
Commissioner Hewitt.
Aye.
Commissioner Robertson.
Aye.
Commissioner Shaver.
Aye.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
All right, moving on to our portion of citizens' requests.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mr. Patrick, yes. I have a question on item 2,
Okay,
but 2 or 3, whatever something. It's about 16 to 18 spots, and that's probably a little too small to consider 16 to 18 spots.
well, we would have construction work done and demolition work to allow for that area.
Okay, so I mean, so for 16, 11, parking or for the, what?
Parking spots.
Parking, just parking spot.
Oh, okay, no.
Any other citizen requests?
I have one last citizen request. I asked that you guys would help celebrate the 250th anniversary of our Republic District. This is my gift to each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I have one, but I will send it to my grandchildren.
Pass it on to your grandson or somebody. Now.
Yes.
I believe you would be interested. Thank you.
Okay, I have a few things to note on for citizen requests, keeping my ducks in a row. So I received a letter that I was going to bring forward in our commissioner minutes, but it's a citizen request. So I will go ahead and just make note that I've received It's a letter that will be emailed to all of the commissioners. So please watch your email for that
And it's regarding,
Yep, it's regarding, use of Centerfest exclusively for the festival, the weekend of August 1st, or the first weekend of August, the first Saturday, Friday, Saturday of that. But it kind of works in conjunction with other information that you guys will be receiving with letters that we've received from Stone City. So we're gonna make those all available through email. This is Commissioner, so. I'll read that during Commissioner minutes. Okay, so, nothing else on citizen request. I just wanted to make sure that that was noted. Did you have something, sir, that you wanted?
Keep this area again. So like on, you know, the parking on the sidewalks, people who have a driveway that park in the driveway that goes over the sidewalks. You know, those are, I know there's some people here that have that issue that are concerned about that. You know, is that something we're gonna look at too? Does that gotta be, have a complaint against it, or we just, same thing? And I know that, you know, there's a business on Main Street that has cars parked on both sidewalks. And, you know, pick and choose. I hope we're not doing that.
Thank you. Okay. Any other citizen requests? Okay, we'll be moving on to our commissioners' minutes. So, Commissioner Hewitt, do you want to start on your end tonight?
I just want to thank everyone for coming and for giving your opinion. We relish that.
Thank you. Commissioner Warren?
Well, thanks everybody for coming, and I got, one call about bathrooms at the parks. They said that last year they were, by the end of the week, they'd start looking pretty bad. They were going to see if they could be checked more often.
do you know what park?
So they said Creekside was one that they talked about, and then I think they said over at Day, I don't know.
So Frank Day is, with the pool open, they're monitoring that daily.
Okay.
And now that Kelly has her seasonal staff, those are being cleaned, I think, 5 days a week.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Bueller?
Thanks everybody for coming. Also, I'm excited to see things like the pool and summer activities going on. Our little community comes alive and it's really fun to see that. So thanks for all the hard work. I got a couple emails about opportunity zones. Are we looking into that at all or no?
So Commissioner Robertson and I actually sat in or stayed for a little
Did you
bit
stay
where our community is not eligible.
Okay, that's the one question I had. Thank you.
Not eligible. Commissioner Robertson?
I'm gonna take maybe more than just a minute. First of all, I'll again say thank you for everybody for coming. Number one, you've been heard. I think the proof of the fact that our system works is that we sit here and we listen and we actually hear what you have to say. There aren't always good solutions to the challenges that come up, but we certainly hear it and we take it under consideration. Nobody's ignoring anybody that speaks here. I would love to find solutions for parking on small streets that were designed 100 years ago. Nobody contemplated, I guess, 100 years ago, the number of vehicles owned privately and how difficult it is. I do want to say, though, as somebody who has a very, very close friend who's wheelchair bound, that they need a way to get around too. And so sidewalks, there's been a big investment in sidewalks in the city of Lewistown. We need to find a way to do both.
Yeah.
Make adequate parking and have the ability for people to get around that can't necessarily walk down the street and avoid being hit. So, let's work on finding a solution to it. I hear you. Opportunity zone, we are not automatically eligible as an opportunity zone based on our county's income status, basically. However, I did see an email just today that said that the governor picks those opportunity zones at the end of the day, or at least influences the decision, and there may be an opportunity to
Be an opportunity.
there may be an opportunity to be an opportunity zone. If we can appeal that, I'm gonna be out of town. I think there's a meeting next week, maybe SMDC knows. But I think there's a meeting next week, late next week, end of the month, where there might be an opportunity to appeal. So I would ask other commissioners to look into that. I'll try to get that email out to you. And then the last thing is, some time ago, and I wish I could tell you how long ago it was, a month or two ago, there was an article on the front page of the newspaper, an interview with Justice of the Peace, stating concerns over, and you alluded to this a little bit, Holly, but concerns about the workload, the growing workload. I question the numbers that were in there because I don't think anybody could physically look at all those citations. So I think that must be the number of citations written versus actually reviewed in the court with active trials and cases. But nevertheless, I'm concerned because the article implied, or the Justice of the Peace it was implied by the Justice of the Peace in this article, or the article, I inferred from it, how about that the Justice of the Peace as of January 1 is not intending to honor the agreement the city and the county have related to its jurisdiction of city court. And if that is the case, we will have no city court January 1. Which would have major implications on our budget, I would guess, because we would have to carry the burden entirely, and the reason that we do it to district, the Justice of the Peace and the city court is to share that staff, I believe. Or it would probably lead to some litigation, as there was in the past, which again is expensive. And I think before the budget is finalized, we need to have a better sense of, does the Justice of the Peace intend to not honor the city court agreement with the county? I'd like to know that for a fact, on the record, rather than innuendo in the paper. And I appreciate his concerns. I think we need to hear him here at the city commission, not through the newspaper. So I would ask that he has to come and talk to us at a commission of the whole, or do something if we can get the.
You can reach out.
If you could reach out, that would be great, just so we have it, so we can either budget for it, a new court, or budget for litigation, or decide what we're gonna do January 1st, because I would hate to see us without a city court at all, January 1st. That's all I have, thank you.
Commissioner Shaver?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for being here tonight. We heard you, I heard you, for sure. I think when it comes to the parking situations, I also, Commissioner Robertson's talked about, 100 years ago, we didn't expect everyone to own 2 or 3, 4 vehicles. Also, if you ever park your 1987 truck up against your 2022 truck, your 2022 truck is huge. I mean, the vehicle sizes have gotten double the size now. And so parking on these small streets is very inconvenient. And I was thinking about where this neighborhood is, and I think, hey, that's my Aunt Annie's house, I think, that lives right up there. And she has a good idea. She drives a little Geo tractor, and she parks it in the garage. But not to say that we need to do something, but I don't know if parking on the sidewalks is ever going to be the answer. And that's a tough one there. Took my mom for a drive yesterday. She's my judge of everything, and she said the town looks greener than she's ever seen it. I was like, oh, that's nice, Mom. Then we drove down Broadway, and she said, what in the heck's going on with those roadblocks? I said, oh, the bridge is going on. I explained it to her. She says, can't they put up something less obnoxious? And I was like, I'll ask, Mom. So I guess I'll probably be calling the state or something and see if they can put up something. Because, we do have a lot of people come to Lewistown, and that's right in the middle of everything, and it doesn't look too good. So hopefully we can get the state to put up something a little different. I don't think anyone's gonna fall off there walking through it. That's all I got, thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Bowser?
I had a visit with a citizen the other day, and he was saying that he walks a lot, and I live on the trail, and so I see him walking every day. He was down on a sidewalk on Main Street and sat on one of the benches, and he said he stood up to continue walking, and an e-bike went by and missed him by that much. And it would have, he's elderly, and so the more we visited, he was concerned about the e-bikes on the trail because they go really fast. So I think it's something we need to discuss maybe. So I think I'll bring it up, we can discuss it at the ordinance committee, or, I don't know. Anybody thinks it's a problem other than him, but he walks with his head down when he walks. And I see him every day, and I'm afraid he's gonna get hit someday. So that's it for me.
Thank you. Hey, I have quite a few minutes as well. It's been a busy week. So I'm just gonna kick off here with, the topic of Centerfest. I'm emailing, just so all the commissioners know, you'll receive from the city, direct correspondence from, Renee Robbins with Stone City with, regards to having exclusive use. We've discussed this before. I read the letter as far as public comment last time we had our meeting with the farmers market information. So I would like all of the commission to be aware and have that on their radar, just what was being requested by our citizens. And then again, another letter will also go out to all of you from the city that is written by Jeff Lee Hardy regarding that subject and topic. And then for my commissioner minutes, I'm going to be reading this because it was requested to be read during this time. So it says, "Dear elected city commissioners, I am writing as a resident and local business owner to voice my strong support for an annual reserve of Creekside Pavilion and Park for the exclusive use of Centerfest on the first weekend of each August. Said usage of this public facility benefits the Lewistown community at large, both for its cultural benefits along with the financial impact of the event itself. In addition, any change to the cadence and/or location of Centerfest would deter the positive momentum built over the last several years and therefore negatively impact the economic benefits of said events to the community as a whole. Therefore, I encourage all of my elected leaders to place a positive vote in support of this initiative. Sincerely, Greg Clark, 314 8th Avenue North." So, just more discussion can happen. We can also discuss this at our ordinance meeting as well. We've had multiple requests as far as supporting the usage of Creekside Park. I do have the policy printed off, which we'll share with the commission as well, if the city can make that available to all the commissioners. Centerfest does check all of those boxes for priority usage of Creekside, but I think it would be a good thing for the commissioners to review as well.
And we've already received an application for the next 3 years.
Okay, great, yep. Next 3 years application has already been passed for that. Okay, just before I go on, does any of the commissioners have any questions regarding that topic? Okay, I also wanted to bring forward that I received a call from a citizen regarding parking on the sidewalks in the citation. So that's been addressed pretty well here tonight. And I just want to, again, like I've said it multiple times, but invite you guys out to that committee ordinance meeting. So that will be held this Wednesday at 11 o'clock. So at the city hall office. I think that there's a lot of good discussion, a lot of great points that were made during public comment, and I think that we could come up with a lot of solutions for that. I also received a call from Nonstop Local, the news reporter in Great Falls, wanting to do a story. He wanted feedback from the commissioners regarding the closure of St. Vincent's, the Intermountain Healthcare Center, and the impact that it has on the community. So if anybody wants to give me any feedback for that, I'm more than happy to pass that along to him, but I don't know, with the opening of the Great Falls Benefits, that could maybe not be as much of an issue for our community, but, they would like some feedback from the commission for that. And I also received a letter from a citizen regarding the property located at 511 West Watson, wanting to know if the city has any intention or plans for that particular building that's on the market. Do you know which one I'm referring to on that?
511 what?
West Watson?
Yeah, she's, making a request, I'm gonna also turn this in to the city for this request for, if the city has any intentions on dealing with this property. So I'll let you guys read the letter for that, just making you aware on that. And, the park was out. It looks really fun, and very excited to see that out in our downtown area, and I hope people will use it. Huge thank you for everyone for showing up tonight, for all your comments and all of your participation. We appreciate it. Is there anything else for the good of the order? Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll adjourn.